Okay, we're live.
Okay. And there's also a candidate that we have to the position.
Okay, great. Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for being here today. So I guess for our opening activity, we could go around. I think we all know each other's names, so we don't need to do that. But name one silly thing you did on a break. Why don't you start?
Okay, I don't think it was really on the break, but it's the most silly thing that I've done, which is get stuck in a wetland for 5 hours.
Yeah. Lilia?
I watch really bad TV.
How bad?
I stayed up for hours, like catching up. I think I've caught up on all of 2012 that I missed out on. So now I'm taking a break. No more mud.
Who are you telling?
My husband went out of town and I was by myself, so I thought it'd be really cool to like lock all the doors and all the storm doors. And then being by myself in this big shot, I decided I would roll all the trash cans out, which are in the back. So I took my car keys and put them in my pocket, walked out my back door, locking the doors behind me. So I'm gonna roll them to the front and come back in my front door. The storm door is locked from the inside, it doesn't have a key. So I locked myself out of my own house. And I broke back in my own house with a plastic discount card from Yankee Candle that I dug out of the trash can. So I learned that, one, I am not a big shot and I should not be left home alone. But two, my house is not very secure. Even though I locked a ton of. So I think I win.
You can even
Let's see, well, playtime with a 3-year-old is always pretty silly. I think probably the silliest thing we did in the last couple weeks, she's like a 5-foot tall stuffed giraffe. So we had a tea party for the giraffe. Dressed it up, made tea, so that was a good time.
Do you have footage?
I did not record it. I have a picture of the giraffe dressed up, that's about it.
Have you started playing Pretty Pretty Princess yet?
We have played princess games in the past, yes.
My dad used to play Pretty Pretty Princess with me and forget to take off the jewelry, and he ran a company out of our home, and he would like walk around with like the necklace on, or he'd like, damn it, and take it off.
It's a good day. I guess my silliest thing is I helped my cats open their Christmas presents. They got some mice, some toy mice, and some treats. And, they're not very good at opening gifts. Not like a dog. They just like go to town, you know. But cats not so much.
They like
I think they were embarrassed by me.
I love it.
Yeah, it's funny. So a quick recap of our Q&A panel, which was on Tuesday. We had, I think, 7 panelists from GSO, including Jim, who volunteered, which was awesome. We had about 20 undergraduates come and ask questions. A lot of them had to take off around 12:30, or not 12:30, 1:30 because they have class and activity hour was ending, but quite a few stuck around. And I have a feeling we had more than 20, but we only had 20 actually sign in because some trickled in a little bit late. Most of the pizza went. We didn't have too much left over.
Feed them and they will come.
Yeah, we had some good faculty and staff come. Dr. Newman Lewis came and introduced herself. Bill Helfelfinger, who is the Director of Graduate Admissions, came, and he was able to address a lot of questions about the admissions process that we might not be in the know about. So it was great that he came, and Alice Jones from the Career Management Center came and talked about what her office does, and she also had some input to give the students as well. We also had a couple faculty members who came and spoke as well. So they were in the audience, but they were willing to chime in a few times, which was nice. So I think it was a pretty good event, and I think the undergrad appreciated it. We had a bookstore sponsorship, so I bought some T-shirts. Most of them we gave away at the event, but I still have 3 left, and the students haven't contacted me, even though I've touched base with them. Hey, you want a shirt? So maybe eventually they will. So, or I'll send a reminder. So that was that. That was a good event, and it was pretty easy to put together. Some good value for the undergraduates. So, as you may be aware, I think I sent everyone an email about this, but there's a position open for the Vice Provost for graduate and undergraduate programs. That person will work directly with Provost Simpson. And what the Provost was looking for in a candidate is someone with a balance of graduate experience and undergraduate experience. And I've been serving on the search committee, and we've been meeting for the past few months and have narrowed it down to these 4 individuals you see on the agenda. And they are coming to campus starting tomorrow. Our first one is Brian Payne, tomorrow morning, a week after, Robert Watovich. He is here at Old Dominion. And he was actually one of the faculty members who came to our Q&A panel the other day. Then we have a couple folks the following week. One of the things that came up when we were deciding what to do with the candidates while they're here, we were asked whether we should have a special student session, and I and Miriam, who's the SGA president, representing the undergraduates and all the students at Old Dominion, we said we think we can bring students in, and we think a student session will be valuable because this person, whoever's hired, is going to have an important role, especially in developing interdisciplinary programs at the graduate level. So a lot of us might be graduated and will be Dr. So-and-so by the time, some of these programs are actually implemented, but for the future students, I think it would be great if we could be there and show that graduate students are active and that we have a voice on campus. And I think we are becoming more and more visible because sometimes I hear through the grapevine, oh, GSO doing great, and that's us. So I think we're really making a positive impact on campus this year. So the open forums are about 50 minutes long, and that's for everybody on campus. Then there'll be a 10-minute intermission, and then the candidates will remain in the same place to speak specifically with students. I know that the first two are on Fridays, and sometimes people like to take off, especially because the traffic around here is pretty horrible. But if you can make it to any of these or know someone who could come, I strongly encourage you to do so and ask questions and show them, hey, grad students are important here. Because then when that person's hired, then, we'll definitely be on the minds. So that should be a good thing. So we secured some money from programs all weekend. They gave us $2,500, which was a nice sum. And to have a comedian to campus. And because it's called Programs All Weekend, I had to pick a date between a Thursday and a Sunday. My original date they couldn't do because there was something else going on and they didn't want to steal our thunder, so they moved it to February 16th. So it's a Saturday night, which is, I know some of us aren't here on Saturdays, but on the other hand, nobody's teaching, I don't think. Few people are probably working, so it's a nice night out. The event will be completely free. It's open to everybody across campus, but of course, because we're the ones throwing the event in conjunction with Programs All Weekend, we want to see a lot of graduate students there. The comedian we have secured is Robert Mack. He won a national stand-up competition that Comedy Central put on, so he's not, I don't know that he's super famous, to the level of like a Daniel Tosh type of person, but he's, his name is known in the comedy world. So with him, we spent $2,000 of our budget to pay his fee. And again, this isn't our money, it's Pa's money, so it's kind of nice that we can spend it. I will have to allocate $200 approximately for his mileage because he's driving from Silver Spring, Maryland to be here. So that leaves us $300. And I think we have $200 set for a guest speaker in our budget that SGA gave us, so I'm thinking we can use that $200 toward his mileage, and then the remaining $500 we could allocate towards door prizes and food and promotional items. Last year when we had a comedian, we had a large sheet cake that said graduate student organization on it, as well as a few other dessert items, I think. So I wanted to see what you think, what would be a nice thing to offer.
I think given the time, most people will probably have eaten dinner, so I think the desserts is a good idea. Is it open for people to bring like their significant other? Like it's Saturday night, so I think a lot of people will say, oh, that's the only night I see my husband. Can you bring their husband?
Right.
No kids, but husband?
I think so. I think the time would, being 7 to 9, I don't think a lot of people are going to bring in infants or toddlers to something like this. It could happen.
This community is interesting.
To my knowledge, last year we didn't check IDs. I
We just want a good turnout for him, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely. I would say yes. I don't
Bring a
see
friend.
why not. The money's already been allocated. I guess it doesn't matter who comes. It's not like you're preventing someone else from coming by bringing a spouse or.
Well, I know the Open University events for funding from SGA, it didn't matter who came and families were encouraged, and you could encourage that. So it was when it's Open University, it was whoever, because I know that we had done that for BGSO and stuff, and that always bolsters your numbers.
That's what I was thinking for advertising,
Yeah.
if I email out to
Yeah.
everyone and say, hey, you know, you can
Yeah.
bring your
Yeah.
significant other, you can bring your best friend, you can bring, and maybe we should let alumni know, just in case they have actual
Yeah.
alumni still in the community.
Yeah, and I would think as a public university, I don't think that they could really close the event.
They can't
I don't
close
think
it.
so.
But if people just don't know, if it's not said, they
Yeah.
might not come. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Right.
just need to go ahead and put it out there, that you can bring friends.
Yeah, I would say invite your spouse, like I know Mark might
Yeah,
want to
definitely.
come, most likely, so.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a sitter.
You
So-
should.
So are we
Absolutely.
agreeing about desserts? Does that sound good? Like,
Yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, I think it's great.
So the way the time is, his contract says he's performing from 7 to 8. I think most likely it'll be like 7:10 to 8:10 because usually we want to introduce, folks. Then that gives us a good chunk of time once he's done. I don't know if we just want to have people mingle and enjoy dessert and have a good time. We'll probably do door prizes like we did last year. I don't know what else we really want to do with that time. We might end up ending a little bit before 9 o'clock.
Just put in like a shameless plug to invite people to come to the next one's GSO.
Yeah.
Because it would be like that following week, that Thursday.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think by the time the door prizes are raffled off, that'll take up a good chunk of time, and then people, want to grab their desserts. So. Yeah, we'll probably fill the time.
Especially if we don't make the desserts available while he's,
Right,
then
I
it,
would think so.
yeah.
Right, then it encourages people to stay.
desserts after.
And
And so can you order it, you have to order it on campus, don't you? The desserts?
we do.
Okay.
I know how to do it now that I did the event on Tuesday. It wasn't too difficult, and because since OrgSync, the platform we use, was implemented, it's really easy to get reimbursed. It's just a matter of pushing a few buttons, whereas before you had to fill out like a carbon copy sheet. It was kind of old fashioned and not the most user-friendly process, but now it's very simple, so. So in terms of door prizes, last year we offered things like OU keychains, not really clothing items because sometimes that's tricky, because you don't know what size people prefer.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Right, with the t-shirts I gave away on Tuesday, I had to pick clothing items that was specified, but because we're spending PAW money and not a bookstore sponsorship, I think we're a little bit more open-ended. So what are you thinking would be good for a door prize?
We're all looking at you.
I
Yeah.
know.
Sorry. It's nice to
Well,
have someone
what's
different.
worked in the past? I mean, I don't have any experience with the GSO really, so, I mean, do y'all have any information on things that
Can we get
have
it
been
from
popular in
anywhere?
the past?
I think so, because,
Because BGSO has gotten some really funny mugs from various sites.
it would be cool, PhD Comics, have you heard of that?
Yeah,
They have some
actually,
pretty mugs. That's it.
I was thinking that would be really good, and it promotes the whole grad, I mean, it's that grad thing.
Yeah.
And they're not that expensive either. Not
You
that
want me to look
expensive.
into it, or do you want to look into it?
I can write to, I should check with Megan Hart, she's the person who is our liaison, so I should check with her to make sure we would spend our money
Can we do-
anywhere, but I think you can.
Can we do a raffle with this? Are we allowed to fundraise along with this at all?
I think we could, but we'd have to fill out a special permission form.
Sure, I know the form. But the reason I ask is because we have done those 50/50 raffles, which is, you buy a ticket and whatever, and so the person ends up, whoever you pull, they get 50% of what's in there, but the organization gets 50%. But even if we also just did a raffle, I have some sign. I got one of the George Young's books. It's the guy that writes PhD comics. I got one. I have several, but I have them that are signed. So I'd be totally willing to raffle off one of them and just get everyone's. I mean, I don't need it signed, but one is good.
Yeah.
But we could do that if you want. I'll dig them out and see what condition they are.
All right,
Yeah,
I can
boxes.
ask her if that's something we could do in conjunction. I'm not sure what the rules are, just because it is a cost-sponsored event. It's
Yeah.
not just our event,
I'd be willing to throw one in anyway.
Great, thank you. Maybe like a water bottle from the bookstore, or something like that, or maybe a bookstore gift
Yeah.
card. I think last year we did an iTunes gift card. I mean, most
We
people
can
just
get
buy
a-
books.
Like
Yeah,
a winter hat or something that's
or a Starbucks.
unisex and,
Right.
basically one size fits all.
Starbucks gift card would work, or a hat, or
Yeah.
hats are always good, especially if it's raining.
People
I
can be
think
picky about water bottles too, whether it's BPA free or steel or whatever.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I just think something better than like keychains and T-shirts would be the gift cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Would probably be a bigger hit.
Yeah,
I
It's
think
always
so
nice
too.
to have money to spend on what you want.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
it is.
agree with that.
The keychains, I think we all have enough.
Yeah, I always get them as gifts.
Kind of like a sticker.
But I have a couple Chesapeake Bay that I had taken to a conference for something and ended up not using them, so I could throw those in too.
Cool.
Cool.
I think people just like to win something.
Yeah,
Even if it's something silly, like, yeah. So, all right, we can do that. I'll check with Megan about that, and I'll find out how much the cake costs. I think it's pricey, but I think we'll have plenty left over.
And they don't let you bring your own cake.
No, in the
I think
most
it's food, but a lot of places that require you to use food will at least let you bring in your own cake from a caterer.
Yeah, the rules are strict here. You have to order
Nothing.
from Monarch Catering.
Unless it's an item that you cannot get anywhere else. No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So something like really.
Yeah, if I had the Girl Scout cookies, but I don't.
Oh, are you pushing Girl Scout cookies? I'm all about that. Push it over.
I am. Danielle's already on the other list. She texted her.
All right.
She texted her order.
Just ignore me.
But they don't come to the following weekend, so I can't like provide like something funny. some good.
That's cool. All right, so we have that going on, and last year when we did this, we were pretty successful. We had about 120 students come out, and at the time it was a little bit different. It was a Thursday night, so people could leave from class and go. But I think honestly Saturday works better because I know I have class on Thursday, and I don't want to be like late to an event like I helped facilitate. So yeah, no one's working Saturday night, so but we really have to pour on the steam in terms of advertising. I've stuck a few flyers like around campus, but I think we really need to pepper the campus with ads that'll make it successful.
It's also right after Valentine's Day. I don't know if there's a way to tie that into the advertising or the
Oh,
promotions.
you know what? Actually, that's one of the nights that people celebrate because it's
Yeah,
Valentine's Day is a Thursday.
Right.
Yeah, like
Yeah, because we usually buy that Saturday.
Can we ask for special decorating on the cake?
can we probably can we just put like a heart or something.
So we could have a
I'm like so
The cheapskates Valentine date.
yeah, exactly.
That is like the best advertising idea.
Yeah, but it's
I like it.
bring a sweetheart.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe the comedian can do a bit on relationships if he doesn't already
Relationships in
have.
grad school.
Right.
Oh my
It's
God,
very
yeah.
different.
We can feed some to him. I'm sure we.
I think we'd be able to ask him. He does very clean comedy. I mean, we're all adults. Like, if someone swore in a performance, I don't think anyone would, be upset about it. But I do like the fact that he's not lewd. I find lewd comedy hilarious, but I know not everyone does. So I think it has like grad appeal. And he's not just like a grad school comedian. Like last year, Tim Lee was actually a PhD in biology turned comedian. So he joked about grad school, but this guy, I think, does like a wide range. His videos are on YouTube, so.
Have to check out.
Yeah, he seemed funny, I thought, so. He does like cerebral comedy, I guess, which I thought, oh,
Nice.
we're pretty smart. So, why not? So the National Association that we joined back in the fall, a couple things going on with them. The Southeast region is having a conference at the end of February, very beginning of March at George Mason, so that's here in our state. I think that's up near DC.
Fairfax.
Yeah, okay, that's close. I wrote to the regional chair to get some details because right now it says details are coming, and he said he would give them to me this week, but I haven't seen them yet. So, I think he said that the hotel room would be about $100 a night. And in conjunction with that conference, there is an advocacy summit that's offered to the national group. So everyone's welcome to go to that March 1st to March 5th, and that's in Washington, D.C. So two kind of big events going on at that point in time. And back in November, I met with Miriam, who's the SGA president, and she told me that she has a pot of money with SGA, a contingency funds for the purpose of sending students to conferences as long as it's related to student organization work. obviously this fits the bill because this is
Yeah.
a student organization of which we are a member. Hi, welcome.
Sorry, late.
No,
No
not
problem.
a big deal. We have agendas and signing materials over there if you want to grab that stuff. So I was thinking it would be a nice thing if we could ask her if we could get some money from SG to send a few students. And I know that going to the whole event is a huge chunk of time, and I don't think it's really realistic for people to go from the 28th February to the 5th of March. So my thought was maybe go to the Southeast Regional Conference on March 1st, which is a Friday or Saturday?
It's Friday.
It's a Friday. Then on, actually,
It's
that
a-
was
it's-
that.
It's the 28th to the 2nd, so
Right.
Thursday through Saturday.
So, okay, I got a little bit behind my beat. So, March 2nd, it's a Saturday, maybe go to the Southeast Regional Conference that Saturday. Then March 3rd, hop over to the Legislative Summit Day. Then March 4th, we go to the Legislative Summit, and that day is set aside for you to make meetings with your congressman. So, if we had some interest in people going to that, March 2nd would be whatever is going on with the conference. March 3rd, they train you how to advocate for yourself on Capitol Hill.
Interesting.
Yeah, and some of the dates of the advocacy summit are kind of repetitive, like the activities are the same, so it's not like if we miss a few days, we'd be missing out, I don't think. And then March 4th, we could possibly set up a meeting with a congressman. So that would be Saturday night, Sunday night, and come home Monday. Is that right?
Yeah, the 4th is Monday, so we would
Right.
meet and then just come back Monday.
Right, right. So I just wanted to see if that's something that would interest you, if we could get money from SG to do that, so that it would only really cost us gas money to get up there. If people would want to go, I think it would be cool.
I'd go, if we went up on a Saturday, I just can't take Friday.
Okay.
And I have to see about taking Monday, I may just go and come back Sunday, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you and I are gonna be out the whole week next week, the 10th and 16th.
That's true. That's spring break, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I
And
can on
March.
Monday.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's, I think, what, the 10th to the 17th-ish is when spring break is. How
Yeah.
about the two of you, would you be interested in that?
In the conference of January, I'm sorry, then.
Oh, yeah.
This one.
All right.
We were talking about going up maybe on like Saturday, March 2nd, and then that's the conference day. The 3rd is when they train you and talk about how to talk to congressmen and advocate for yourself. And then the 4th is we can actually sit down and meet with the congressman and then come back. Which is the week before spring.
Okay.
I think you should see first if we can get money, and then we can send out an email and see about interest.
Yeah, I will ask Miriam, or I might actually check with Dan St. John. He's not here today, but Miriam also told me that she could get a reserved Senate seat on SGA for just someone to represent graduate students. And Dan has been going to SGA meetings anyway, so he volunteered to be our senator for this year. So I'll have to touch base with him so we can follow the proper procedure. And if they could give us, a few $100s, we could sign some folks and.
Well, we can rent, because BGSO is doing that with contingency funds, we can get a vehicle from them.
Oh.
And yeah, so we can actually get a vehicle from them, and because everyone that's a member is going, everyone can drive.
Okay.
So then SGA would just lease that vehicle for us, and so that's what would be ideal. We still have to pay gas, but then everybody can.
Yeah, if everyone pitched in $15 or $20.
No,
That would be-
yeah, and then we just need the deal with hotel, but
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna make people, we can squeeze a
Yeah.
lot of grad students in. And actually, there are a lot of suites up there, so that would be an easier thing too.
yeah, the Advocacy Summit, they already have published the hotel rates. It's on the back of this page if you happen to grab it. You can do a triple quad for $159 a night. So split between 3 or 4 people, that's really not bad. And I find sometimes people make fun of me for this, but like I take a gamble and do Hotwire, and they don't tell you the name of the hotel you're purchasing, but you get like cheap rates,
No, definitely.
like in 4-star hotels. So
Yeah.
it might be cool. Plus, AAA sometimes has deals, and I don't know if second.
Location's important too, because,
Traffic.
traffic's terrible on
But if we can
the
take Metro.
afternoons. It depends. Mason's not on the Metro. You have to take a
Is
bus from the Falls Church Station to the campus.
Okay.
There is a lot of parking on Mason, but it's like here, it's all
Yeah.
stickered, and I mean,
They
we may
make
have
it
an hourly lot, or there may be parking
for
through the conference, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
That'd be something to check into.
yeah, absolutely.
But Mason is a good 45 minutes from downtown DC, so, you know, you pick your location. If you stay near the metro in your hotel, you can take metro everywhere you want to go. You know, if you want to go out to dinner or you want to check out the sites,
Oh, yeah.
go down to Capitol Hill, no problem. But getting to Mason will be the challenge.
Yeah, I wonder if we should stay in DC and then just take a bus down to Fairfax on the one day that we want to go to the Southeast Conference. And I mean, we could change our minds, but I'm just thinking we want to be choosy about what days we go, just because like Saturday and Sunday at the RIC Summit, it looks like the same thing, like two you know, same event happening 2 days in a row. Like one is good enough, and they did say you can pick and choose. So I think that would be cool. And to be honest, I know very little about national issues that are affecting grad students, but they do have a few, like if you see the bulleted list, if you happen to grab that paper. And this is on their website, issues concerning grad students, like funding issues, especially STEM, Janet, you might, that probably caught your eye.
Yeah.
As well as reducing student loan debt, things like that, open access to federally funded research. I mean, those are things that would be great. And if they're going to train us, then we'll be prepared. And if we do get the money, I can work on contacting our rep to see if we can get a meeting. I think it's Bobby Scott, who's our representative. I don't know who the senators are. Honestly, I feel, which is horrible, but I'm not from
Warner.
Virginia.
And there's one Warner's the one that's leaving, and the other Democrat is Webb. So it's Warner and Webb, I
Okay.
believe.
It might be better to get a meeting with the senator because that person represents all of us versus a rep just representing, you know, certain chunks of the state.
Yeah, it may be challenging to get on a senator's schedule. You'll
That's
probably
true.
be meeting a staffer.
Yeah, probably, but
Yeah.
it'd still be cool to see,
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
on it and
It'd be
go
nice
and-
to.
Is everybody here a Virginia resident? Because if you're
I
not,
am.
then, okay, I'm a Tennessee resident,
Oh, okay.
so I could potentially meet a different senator or congressperson.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have Virginia residency.
Then we can
So I
compare
should
notes on the
know.
drive back.
What's
And
that?
then we can compare notes on the drive back. What did Tennessee say?
All right, so I will make inquiries to see if we can get money, because I think that would generate a lot of interest if we didn't have to pay much for it.
Oh, yeah, definitely, but it'd also be really good to just do.
Yeah, I mean, even if I had to pay out of pocket.
Yeah, I would go even if we had to split it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I kind of think staying at whatever hotel they've recommended and splitting it probably might be the best transportation wise. If
Well,
it's
not-
where everything's gonna be.
But
Which
not
is
only
the same.
that, we can meet other grad students that are the
Right,
same, so
right.
that'll be really
Yeah.
beneficial.
Because I find when I stay at other hotels and I get a good deal, it's fun, but then I feel really lonely.
Um,
Like all by myself.
I know, that is kind of lonely, I think.
So,
Yeah,
but yeah.
so, all right, we'll look into that and then I'll put it out there and whoever wants to go, can go. Depending on how much you get. So our next professional development event for this spring, we're planning an alumni networking event. We have a room secured. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but we do have it. So it'll be a Wednesday.
It's
afternoon.
Web 2005.
2005, you're on the ball. Awesome.
I am.
So what we're doing is looking into getting alums to come back and kind of give us advice about what's the transition like from graduate school to the working world. And I mean, I know a lot of us have already done that. Like I know I have. I'm sure you have as well. But I think, you know, being people on their way to PhDs, a lot of us, or master's degrees, I think it would be helpful to hear their take on what the job market is like, what we can do to market ourselves now while we're in school so that we have an easier time later. As well as just meet some alums that, you know, might be good contacts for when we're looking for a job, when it gets to that point. So far, I contacted our vice president from last year and our president. They both got good jobs, Kiana and Pete. So they're going to Skype in because they are way out of state. They had to move out of Virginia to get their jobs. So they offered to Skype in and just speak to us for like 10 or 15 minutes about their experiences. So it'd be good that we have some past GSO leaders attending.
I have talked to the Alumni Association, and they're totally willing to work with us on using their database to help us find people. The challenge is that we've got it set from 4 to 6 p.m. And then also we I'm trying to get alumni, representative of the different colleges, but then also get alumni that are working in the field that they got their degree. So that's making it a bit challenging. So if we can't do that, we'll at least get alumni that are working.
Well, my girlfriend agreed.
Yes.
She's got the master's degree in technical writing from the English department. She runs her own editing and proofreading service.
Fabulous.
So that's just, you can consider arts and letters
Arts and letters are
done.
done.
I double checked with her. She has the flu and pneumonia, but she said she'll be better by then.
Oh.
She's really sick. I was like, I hate to call you right now, but.
What were their field, our VP and?
They're both higher education.
Higher ed.
Pete was a PhD student, he's a professor now, and Kiana was a master's student, and now she works in student affairs at a school in Wisconsin. Has a cool job, so.
I do know somebody who has a PhD from here in computer science, I think, and one may have business. So if you run into a place where you can't find anybody from those, I can ask them, but they are just older gentlemen.
Yeah, I
So
know.
they've been alumni for 30 years. So it may not be as useful, but if we get desperate.
No,
I
definitely.
can check in my department with some of the
I'm sorry, your computer science, right?
Yeah, that would be fabulous if you would do that. So that's the only challenge is just getting them. My idea was to, when people, we can either post it, but it would be nice if the alumni didn't have to spend too much time introducing themselves. So we can have short bios on them that are we've either printed them and it's available, or we post it and it's available. So people prior to the event or at the event can go ahead and quick read that and not be asking some of the, well, what's your degree, so we can skip some of that preliminary. And then they can, we could go through the alumni that are here, have a quick, a quick few minutes for each of them to give us some of their thoughts, but then have have it set up as a panel so that people can query them, and then we have time afterward that we can just social, people can meet and discuss with them whatever they'd like outside of the panel. So that's,
I have a suggestion as well.
Yes.
Like, of course, okay to separate the people who are working in their field of studies and not, but also I'm thinking of the people who graduated and working in academia versus the industry.
yes.
Because, like for example, for someone like me, I'm not really interested in becoming a professor after I graduate, so I would be interested in the people in the industry rather than.
No, definitely. I want people, I wasn't really focusing on academics.
Okay.
I was just focusing on anyone that has a degree that's working, and I do want industry, because I know a lot of people are, there are only so many academic jobs. So definitely, that's a definite,
Alright.
especially computer science. My husband's an IT guy, but his master's is oceanography, so it didn't really, he needed a degree, but he needed all the certifications, but it's a different animal.
Yeah, I think
So-
it's a good point to get people who
Yeah.
are working in their field, but I also think
Exactly.
it doesn't hurt to have one or two folks who
Yeah.
took a different path, because that happens a lot of the time. Like, I was a journalism major, now I'm a teacher.
My bachelor's is history and I'm science, so.
Yeah, I mean,
it
sometimes we take a
crosses.
zigzag path, and it's kind of cool to hear stories like that.
But industry, actually, the one alumni, and she's still trying to see how her classes that she teaches. She's biology, but she works in industry, but she also adjuncts. So she wasn't able to have the academic position she really wanted, but she's working in industry and kind of crossing. So it's kind of an interesting. But yeah, I think industry usually gets short shrift.
Government also.
Government would be
There are lots
nice.
of people with advanced degrees in the government.
I'm working that angle through my husband.
Pays a little better than academia.
Pays a lot better than that could be. I could be here. Yeah,
I'd
and
be
you've
great
got
to
enough.
get that mix, like a government person too, because I think that sounds like a cool job. Sometimes I like government jobs versus professor jobs, I'm like, ooh.
You're right. Hey, retirement, someone gives one of those still.
Yeah.
Pension.
So it's a matter of just getting, going through the database. The other thing is that we don't have direct access to the database for privacy reasons, so I've given the requirements to alumni, and then they're gonna work through, and then I can make the contact, but there's still some debate as to whether or not I can directly contact, or they have to contact, like, whatever, I don't care who contacts.
Right,
That's fine.
as long as they help us and work with us.
Yeah, and
This will be good.
I am trying to get fairly recent grads, so it's limited a little bit.
Another thing you could do is check with that department too, because most people that are great alumni come back and like they still work within the university. So you might want to contact the chair of different departments. You're looking for people, and they might be able to direct you without the headache.
Yeah.
Especially, I go see Dr. Fleming all the time, but she would never make all the leader. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
If they give you a hard time, we can always hack them. That's the easier way,
We're
I
being
guess.
recorded, you know.
You told me that before.
Ethical hacking.
Sorry.
But there's ethical hacking, right?
There's ethical
Right.
Yeah, we
I
can
did
tell
the
them
video.
that's it.
We didn't know.
I use Tanya, don't care.
That's
really.
We don't know
Outsource it.
Um,
Excellent, so we're moving forward on that. I think probably the biggest challenge will be, alumni that are in fairly new positions might not be able to do that time frame. Some positions like in government, it won't, 4 to 6 isn't really an issue. They'd be happy to do it. They'll take they'll skip their lunch.
yeah, and employers might be open
Yes.
to, because this is really a service opportunity that makes the employer look good too, so. Whoever,
We should be okay.
I think so, I think we'll be good. So the national umbrella group, the National Association of Graduate and Professional Students, every week in April, the first week, the 1st to the 5th, they're doing a National Student Appreciation Week. And I thought it would be fun if we could get in on that, because, I mean, we know better than anyone how hard we work, and how nice it is just to have a pat on the back once in a while, because so often we're working into the wee hours of the night. Chris last week, who's our PR chair, who's not here today, he suggested that we could maybe have like a coffee hour or a dessert hour for people who work as graduate assistants or teaching assistants, research assistants, and so forth. So I have a meeting tomorrow with Dr. Lewis, who's the head of graduate studies, our advisor, and I'm going to bring that up with her to see if her office would be able to facilitate that in conjunction with us. So that's one thing that we could do. The national group also has a few ideas, like they said, to try to solicit local businesses for discounts for grad students. So I don't know ODU's policy on that, so I want to check with Dr. Lewis about that as well. But I was also thinking we could brainstorm a few ideas, something simple we could do to make our day better that week. Maybe do 1 or 2 events, little things.
we could just make like little post-it notes and attach like a Kit Kat or something to it, and just put it in mailboxes, because we all have boxes on campus.
That's true.
And so we could just deliver them to those boxes, or to like the barber of each department and say, hey, when they come in, please give this to them.
I
Yeah.
love that we still call it the barber.
Yeah.
She's the secretary in Ed. She like runs everything.
She knows everything.
Which is awesome.
Right.
She's helpful.
That'd be really good. We can always wrap them in the,
We can do Smarties.
you know,
Get the
have you seen the PhD Comics has Cecilia reaching under her desk for the emergency bar of chocolate that she's taped underneath the drawer? Have you seen that?
No.
I've got a bunch of those printed off. I had thought about actually doing that in the biology grad office just randomly.
Well, we could meet
Going
sometime
in and
March
tea.
and put it all together.
I
You
think
can
that's
get
right.
custom labels for chocolate bars, like they do them for births or anniversaries and stuff, but
Oh, that's true.
you get a chocolate bar, with GSO, thanks for being a GA or TA or something like that.
Yeah.
Or for real cheap, we just buy like the print yourself labels and stick them on ourselves.
There you go.
They do have the print yourself labels.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Like that, we did the Hershey's Kisses and the Kit Kats.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I think that's a low way to do it, 'cause I think by that time of the semester, most people are so busy that having a bunch of events, especially a lot of grad students are at night. They're not
Right.
really, they don't really.
There are a lot of
work.
conferences in
Yeah,
April.
yeah.
So just.
I've got two.
So maybe something simple, like you said,
You
find.
could do an afternoon tea, like you said, coffee break.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
You could make it
Mhm.
a little more sophisticated maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that and doing like a candy, and if you want to call some places, if we find out it's okay, we can call some places in the village and see if they give like a 10% discount for grad students on that.
Yeah, I mean, I asked Dr. Lewis about that, because that would be nice, because who doesn't go to the village for lunch every now and then? Maybe that Friday night we could plan like a small social, just something easy, nearby, like we've been doing.
Isn't that the Friday before Easter?
Oh,
Is that Good
yeah,
Friday?
that's Good Friday, I think.
Easter
Maybe.
Monday is
Is Easter the 7th or the 14th?
Easter is actually,
It's not on our calendar.
March 31st this year.
Oh, that's early.
Yeah, Easter Monday is
So that's
the 1st of
before.
April.
So you're good.
Oh, okay.
So used to it being in April.
I know, I am too. It's totally thrown me.
I like it better.
Because Norfolk Public Schools it always has it off so sadly, that's my calendar. But yeah, I think that would be a really good idea.
Yeah,
See what's permissible.
yeah, I'll check with her, and see what we can do. Just any way we can give students a break, because they deserve appreciation.
Is that a hint? No, 5 or something? Oh, okay.
No, I didn't mean me. I would like a candy bar though. That'd be cool. So last week when we met as an executive team, Chris asked the question about a Tides game, and that was on my radar. So last week I made the call to the Tides, and I reserved 30 seats for Sunday, May 5th. The game is at 1 p.m. That is the Sunday of finals week, but no finals are ever scheduled on Sundays. And it's the week before graduation. So last year it worked out pretty well. You know, people were able to come, and it was a nice break from hitting the books and studying and getting those papers done. So 30 seats reserved with the down deposit, so we're set.
Where are the seats?
They are, they didn't specify yet. They're still working on it, but I told them I wanted close to the field, like near the dugout, right field side.
Last year we were kind of behind home plate. We had good seats last year.
All right.
We did, yeah.
And we had a little bit of an overhang, so we weren't like in the sun, you know?
Yeah,
Right field.
first base side usually gets the shade afternoon.
It does, that's what we always do.
Yeah.
That's a side.
It's also by the vegetarian food, just put that out.
Is that?
So we cheer in left
The
field
veggie
last
dogs.
year. I like left field, but I think right field, it's nicer at Harbor Park for some reason.
It is.
Some ballparks left field is way better.
But that was an event that people brought their families and their kids.
Yeah.
And so I think we had a bigger turnout because of that. And we invited, professors, and it was a really good time. So I think we should really try to push that.
Yeah. And the good news this year is that we have $200 to put towards athletic tickets, and I think the Tides game would qualify. So my thought was maybe we could offer about 20 GSO members with free tickets, and that way maybe just have the spouses or dates pay the $11, or we could spread the savings across all tickets regardless whether they're for GSO members or for family members, and just have everyone pay like $4.50 a ticket. I think I worked it out last week.
I think I like the idea of giving the GSM member a free ticket.
Free.
I think
Yeah.
they might, better than just saving money or. I think-
5 from $10 is not a big difference, but
Yeah.
a free ticket is a free ticket.
Yeah.
If you give something free, they're gonna be like, oh, I gotta go, we have to go.
Yeah, okay, we'll do the free ones then.
Do we wanna do the first 20, or do we wanna, how do we?
I think
Can I pay you now, or do you want me to?
No, later, when the fees
Okay.
come.
So we got 6 tickets here, and what's the rest of the 14 tickets?
Yeah, I was just thinking we should
Just
kind of
saying.
dibs, everyone's here.
Dibs.
First come, we can just say, first come, first serve, a sign up.
Free tickets
So-
to first 20.
Do you have a sign up sheet down there yet? Or?
No,
No.
we can just take it back.
Just me.
Yeah, we'll just take one.
Yeah, okay, so I'll remember who's here, so we can.
It's on the sign up.
It's on the
Yeah,
sign
that's
up.
true. I just have to make it a note. All right, that's I think so. All right, you got 14 more free tickets.
It's my anniversary, I just wanna go to a baseball game, so I wanna do.
I love it.
Oh, cute. Yeah, that should be a good outing. I hope it doesn't rain. Last year it did a little bit, but it was okay. It was okay. But May's a beautiful month originally.
May is usually pretty.
It's great. Yeah, and if we want, if we wanted to meet like for lunch downtown and then just see the tide to Harbor Park because we get to ride the tide.
If you get the special pass, did you
Yeah.
see the news? They've been writing everyone tickets.
Your
No,
ID
no.
is not enough, they have written 150 tickets.
For running
You have to go to parking services, I think, to get a special.
No,
Yeah, I
it's
got
a
one.
way.
You have to have one now because they said they've written 150 tickets.
You can go to card
Yeah,
services
card services.
or parking, and it's like a HRT pass, I have one too.
I need to pick one.
It's free, you just have to go and show your
First
ID, and they'll just give it to you, but yeah, you should have that. Because it used to just be an ID was gonna have, it looks like that. Yeah, yeah.
It looks like this.
You're not on the screen.
She's working.
There you
Like
go.
that. You need that.
All right, so parking survey, last thing. Yeah, parking survey. Chris sent out a survey a couple months ago, right after Thanksgiving. And we did SurveyMonkey, and we had 224 students respond, but SurveyMonkey cuts you off at 100 people. So we can't see the other 124 results, which is a bummer, but Chris didn't know, and they always want to. He was like, I can have that. I can have those responses.
So you have volunteered to be our
Ethical hacking.
ethical
It
hacking.
is ethical.
I think we need a new position in GSO.
Like,
Technology
science,
officer.
special
Special ops.
I like that.
I need special ops.
All right, executive order.
Special ops, I like it.
That's really funny. But basically, I haven't looked at like every line by line response for the survey, but people are saying, I'm here 30 hours a week, and it's not right that I have to compete with my students for a parking spot when, and a lot of students are saying, I don't feel safe because I'm here really late at night, and we do have an escort service on campus, but I
But
guess
it
it's,
takes like 30 minutes.
yeah,
And they're being used as DDs by undergrads.
right,
Yeah,
right, so,
designated drivers. And the second, the lot where we have to pay, that second deck is pretty consistently empty, because I park on the third and fourth.
yeah.
So we got the third and fourth for commuter, but the second is practically empty, so.
Yeah, so I'm going to share the results tomorrow with Dr. Lewis, and I think she'll present it to the Graduate Advisory Council that she has, and hopefully there's willingness across departments to give grad assistants faculty staff parking. And some places do have it.
Some universities
Yeah.
have separate parking for graduate students, and Virginia Tech did when I was there.
Yeah, they do.
Nice.
And Texas A&M always had you had different level of parking stickers depending on the year that you were, the amount of credit hours. So even undergraduates had different levels of parking
Just learning about
status.
that too, you could always see by the color of their sticker what they were.
Yeah,
You're like, you're a freshman, you're in my lot. So,
Right.
we're getting there with baby steps.
Well, you mentioned a parking study. You could probably rope in like the civil engineering department, or maybe one of the other departments that has to do with planning, like urban planning or something. They may be willing to get their students as a practical project to do a parking study.
we
and
did a
actually
few
count
days for
lots and stuff.
biology. We counted we did, when this first came to a head, we went and monitored. We counted parking spots.
Right.
And we also looked at if they had a parking sticker or not, if they were in the pay zone, because that's how we got the third and fourth decks is commuter.
Right.
Because we kind of lobbied that
But the thing
with
is
data. And we looked at the faculty lot. Now, I know that one of the faculty lots is supposed to be closing or another one closed, so that was some of the issue. But some departments will allow you to get faculty staff, it just depends upon, it's not across the board. So if you're in the College of Sciences, you're supposed to be able to get a faculty staff. Parking permit.
You just have to get a letter from your department, because like for us, you can get it every time you get one. And the good thing is the faculty staff stickers last all year, like from September to September, whereas students, you have to buy one every semester.
You buy one for, yeah, the class have one for summer.
Summer, one for summer, but that one is, and so it does actually end up being less expensive too.
If they could
Less
get,
expensive than a
like,
satellite permit?
Oh, I don't know about satellites.
satellite permits, you can use like your old DU main campus pass at those places, at the satellite centers. At
Right.
the satellite centers, you get a ticket here with those.
Well, I meant the satellite parking here on the main
Oh,
campus.
oh,
Like,
oh.
my office is on Monarch Way in IRP 1.
Okay.
So the satellite parking deck, garage C, is actually the closest to my office where I spend most of my time. So I just get a satellite parking pass. But if a faculty staff one was less expensive, I could still park over there with the faculty staff,
Right,
and
we
then
can
I could
park
park over
anywhere
here.
with those.
Yeah.
What's also nice, I think some of the issue too is like, as a grad student, we don't really leave during the summer. I mean, it's rare, and we're here year round, so it'd be nice if we had a graduate parking sticker that we only had to buy once a year. We didn't have to deal with, oh, fall to spring, and then buy another one during the summer. I mean, it's kind of just one more thing we have to do when we're trying to conduct research and write a dissertation and teach classes and then
Another thing
whatever.
I found is that the adjunct stickers are year-long, and they're a lot less expensive than the faculty staff, but we can't use those. But they give us the same access as faculty staff, it's just a different price, but they last all year. Like, from here until September, faculty staff is only $54, for adjunct is $54, where it's $179 for faculty staff, right now until September.
Yeah, I think someone wrote that when I was skimming the results, like, why can't we have adjunct status for buying the parking tickets? Because technically,
That's the training we have to go through to be TAs and TAs
Right.
is the adjunct book.
I mean, technically we are adjunct
Mhm.
faculty.
I think the thing is that adjunct faculty usually just come and teach their class and leave. They don't
Yeah.
have like officers, and graduate students are on campus a lot more. So I think rather than just giving, I know what you're saying, but rather than an adjunct sticker, I think you prefer to have your
I like the faculty
graduate
staff, I mean,
sticker.
even though I live and I walk here, having the faculty staff is beneficial for me, because again, I can park anywhere on campus.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the
Parking is still
issues, is being able to park anywhere because we're, at least for sciences, we're doing research. We could be anywhere on campus for pulling gear or, like, one of our issues for the physical sciences is that we've got, we had that as a commuter lot, and there was no place for us to really park if we're just stopping and picking up gear. So we were having to go to the TED to park because that was commuter and then faculty staff in that other lot, and there was no place. I'm like, I'm not hauling 128 tracks across campus. But you couldn't, so when we got it shifted, it was a little bit better. And then they said that we could temporarily load if we had to, but you have to have someone still standing there with your car, they'll take you still. So it's a bit of a change. They're like, oh, use a department vehicle. There are crazy regulations on who you can and can't use the departmental vehicle. So yeah, I would like to see us just get a graduate student parking pass. Where graduate students just give us a parking pass, and then we can have the rules as far as where we're allowed to park. And there are not that many grad students on campus.
There are plenty of faculty staff spots everywhere, especially in front of the engineering building.
and metered.
Yeah,
I just spent forever trying to park in that new garage, on our floors. Our floors are all full, but that middle level between the bottom, it's like
it's second.
second
So
floor.
I'm parked
Because the
there
first
too
one was
today.
all full of metered, but then when I went up around that weird edge thing,
Yeah,
completely empty.
yeah, the second floor and the ramp.
It's metered, that's metered.
It's all metered, and then the ramp between 2 and 3 is metered.
Yeah, that's the one.
And that's when it's almost always empty. And then 3 and 4, and the ramp in between 3 and 4. But yeah, that's the one we surveyed.
Crazy.
Yeah, 3 and 4 is, so there's still a lot of space that's underutilized, and they just need to.
Because what I found out is a lot of people are buying the perimeter pass because it's a lot less expensive, and by the time they park in one of the meter spaces, it's longer to get over there to park, and it takes more time for them to walk to wherever they need to. So those would probably stay empty for a while.
Yeah.
And the other thing was, with doing this, somehow in the parking services, they only want people that are teaching to have faculty staff if they qualify. So that would be something that you need to make sure is across the board for GAs and RAs, because they say, even if your department has a letter, if you're not teaching, you don't qualify for faculty staff.
See, now we fought that in biology because it's our lab people that are there. If you're running experiments, you could need to be there 24 hours, and we are not,
So whatever
So
just
it
make
became
sure
an
it's
issue.
across the board for
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it needs to
agree.
be. It needs to be.
Right.
If you're grad student, I mean, we already have to have a list allowing us to be in the building at weird hours. Yeah, we submit it every semester, I guess, so that they know, because they walk through, and we have security issues because we also have animals and in buildings, and that's some of the issue. But, you know,
Yeah.
so if we have to park way out, and we're still having to do, you know, that's even less secure for us.
Right, I think a special permit for a GA is, like you said, at a lower price, but with the same level of privilege as faculty, staff, or student workers is important, and I will bring that up with her and see what she says. I mean, we've been agitating for this all year, so I really want to see something happen by next fall. Maybe it's not going to happen this year, but.
And it's not that big of a deal to put a new color on a pass.
No, or gives a special sticker to put on a student permit or something, like just something.
That's what CNU did. I bought one pass freshman year, but then every year I went back and I got a sticker for my pass. So I wasn't having to buy. They're costing a lot of money printing these plastic things, and I buy them like every semester, and it's ridiculous. We had in each year it was like a different, something that couldn't be like recreated, like sparkly, you know.
Yeah.
And every year it
Well, the
changed.
vehicles, DMV, they do.
The DMV thing, you know, the sticker for a year.
That's why I
It's much
like
more
the suggestion
economical.
of having a civil engineering student come in. There is one that took one of our ed classes, my research class last semester, and he's doing his PhD, and he's studying traffic issues in Hampton Roads. That's what his PhD is going to be in.
Wow.
And he took one of our ed research classes because he wants to build a survey. So it might be good to ask him to weigh in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll see what she thinks. I think it might be a process because she's probably, I mean, she can't make all these decisions. She has to work with other people. But hopefully we can have that change. But it is frustrating to a lot of people and it affects all of us. So I think it's a worthwhile cause to pursue and keep, you know, stand our ground. So we'll see what she says and then do what we need to do.
No, definitely, because when we have faculty, like biology's hiring another faculty person, so we're, you know, in the midst of, one of the things they always have a luncheon with the graduate students, and they ask, so, you know, what would you like to see changed? And, you know, it's not good that the something hot on the grad student's mind is safe parking. You know, that's not really conducive to getting good candidates into your department.
No.
And it's something, you know, you want to be honest about. So, because when they come in, their students are going to come in and say, you know, I don't feel safe, I'm not, you know.
Right.
Last thing you want to do is lose students because you don't have safe parking. That's such a should be a very minor, easily handled issue.
Yeah, and to circle back to these candidates coming to campus, these vice provost candidates, I think that is a concern at the upper levels of administration here, is attracting high-quality graduate students by having stronger programs, by offering more money, by offering us health insurance, because I guess SOD is losing a lot of high-quality people because of those things. I mean, it doesn't mean all of the good students are leaving, you know, like we're here, right? But, I mean,
But we can't move into being a more competitive, bigger, you know,
nationally ranked university.
We can't move our ranking up and pull in the money and the programs and maintain the quality that we have or we wish to have if we have minor issues of healthcare and parking.
Right.
I mean, I know parking's an issue at every institution, but it's just being mismatched.
It could be better. It could be better for us. I mean, we're professionals. We are.
Speaking of health insurance, after you.
No, I was just gonna say, as a graduate teaching assistant or a research assistant, it's like a privilege to be one. So to have to deal with the headache of finding somewhere to be or the mentorship piece that goes with it, those are just little things that could be improved to make each department even better.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're in the office 80 hours a week or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, speaking of health insurance, there is an issue I wanted to, I don't know if we're in open discussion.
Yeah, we can move to open discussion.
I want to raise here, I'm an international student. So every year we are supposed to, like, by the regulations of school, to sign up for health insurance as a necessity. It's not optional. You cannot register in classes until you have health insurance. And to make it even worse, they specified only one company, which is Aetna, and they suck. Sorry. It's true.
Some of them do.
Yeah, and it was tolerable because it was $66 a month This year they doubled it, became 130, and it's a requirement, and they just put it on your account, $791 per semester. Okay,
That's expensive.
so yeah.
It's mandatory that you go through that particular
They
account.
just sign you up for it,
Really?
everything. And actually, they put a hold on your account if you did it. Like next semester, I cannot register until I pay the $791 for required health insurance that covers things that are completely unnecessary. I read it. Parts of it was to cover scuba diving accidents. I don't scuba dive.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't need that now. Okay,
Scuba diving insurance is always separate. That's interesting.
they did some weird thing, and from $66 it became $130 per month.
And I wonder, because you as a graduate student now can qualify individually to go into the national organization, right? And get
Yeah, we're all
insurance
members. Yeah.
through NEGS, so.
Exactly,
It doesn't-
but for international students, they say no, and they specify, they made a deal under the table, I'm pretty sure, with Aetna. They can't.
I have a graduate student PhD candidate in my suite of offices. He's having the same problem. He has health care through his wife's employer.
Yep.
They're still requiring him to get health care through Aetna. And he's only taking one class, he's taking dissertation, the one credit hour.
If you're taking 3 credit hours or 1 credit hour, still you have to pay the whole thing.
That's just like us, I mean, I have insurance through my husband, but I still have to pay that, they add on a health fee,
Yeah.
which pays for the health center, and it's like $100 or $80 I have to pay, and I already have
$80,
insurance.
maybe I can actually tolerate
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying,
But $791 per 6 months, it's a lot.
Yeah, there's just like a host of issues with healthcare because some of us can't get it at all. Like, they just don't have it offered for us. And the NAGS insurance is okay. I mean, I'm personally not buying it because it's very slim. It's like emergency insurance.
It's not a lot to cover for what it pays for.
No, to me it wasn't worth it. I mean, it might be valuable to some,
but just to have an emergency insurance,
For
something
example,
basic.
I have full health insurance from back home. If I needed a surgery or something, I'll just fly home. But I don't need that. I need to have the option of actually choose, not have to pay $130 just by forcing and one company and one certain program
Do
that's.
you also have the health fee?
Yes.
So you have to pay the health fee on top of that.
Yes.
That definitely needs to be resolved. That needs to be resolved because that is,
But I'm fortunate enough that the health fee thing is covered by my scholarship.
yeah.
I have assistantship with the research foundation.
But that money could be going, instead of doing that, that money could be sending you to a conference, several
Exactly.
conferences.
Maybe it's living expenses.
Yeah, that's a lot more here.
I mean, maybe it'd be a good idea to lay out each of the issues. We talked about parking and health insurance, and you could identify like an action officer for each one of those to sort of head the organization's efforts on that part, and then also provide the members with some talking points for each one. So when they have an opportunity to engage, like I see, I see the university administration at different venues, whether it's the Veteran Students Organization, their things or things I go to through the College of Engineering, and if the president or vice president or provost or somebody chats you up, and you remember, hey, I remember the GSO had these issues. This is a good time. I can try and forward that agenda.
That would be really nice. If we can develop the talking points, then we can make sure that all our members have it. And anytime they see an opportunity, we need to start really lobbying everyone here about that. All the faculty, every department, the university, so that we need to have a louder voice. That's the only way we'll get that louder voice. I mean, we can go and as executive officers, members go, but if we have more of our membership actively doing that, then it becomes an issue.
Right, and I think if we have,
Squeaky wheel.
right, if we have action officers stepping up as leaders, then we get more accomplished as a whole, because individual people can only do so many things before, something gives. But I like that idea. Is actually today, is anyone willing to take on that role?
You seem to have a personal interest in the healthcare piece, but I don't want to volunteer you for some. Sure.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Well, it'll carry greater weight too. If you say, I have this issue, this is my, this is,
And
I'm
who's
not
the
alone.
president of the International Student Organization right now? Maybe get them involved with any kind of a conversation too.
It's a
Because
good point. Student organization.
Is there?
It's
Is there?
huge, yeah.
Mhm.
We went to their orientation.
No, but I don't think
I
there's
don't know if
a,
they were a club or just like.
I thought they were individual groups that
I
had the,
think they were.
had,
For the
might have
orientation
a,
for the international,
like
it was
there's an
a collection
Indian-
of groups, yeah.
Right, I saw
But
that.
having them come together,
Yeah.
maybe.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Because they have a contact person that emails us, so it's just say reaching
Yeah,
out to
I
that
know them
person.
personally,
Yeah.
every, like, but
Because
I didn't know that
obviously
there
it's
is an
affecting.
organization for international.
I think there is in
If
Portland.
not, maybe there needs to
There is
be,
OIR, Office of Intercultural Relations.
Maybe that's what
Like
I
they
saw.
handle a lot of these things.
Right. So, because health insurance is an ongoing problem for both domestic students who can't get it at all through the university and international students who are overpaying and don't have a say in what they're paying and what they're covered for, I think we ought to, Jenny Foss is head of health services. Would you like to invite her to a future meeting? Maybe
yeah,
in
let's
February?
do that because it's a big issue. I mean,
Okay.
my
I think we should
husband's a
have a separate
contractor.
meeting, honestly.
Mhm.
I don't think it should be addressed at our general meeting.
Do a separate,
Well, yeah, because I think it's gonna be its own meeting. I don't think we can do everything we need to do with our general meeting and that, and I don't think it would be the best use of time. So, I mean, personally, I would come to a separate meeting to talk about the issues.
Okay, that's fine with me. What day should we do it? I know some people don't like this time just because it's, I mean, we're all grad assistants mostly, we're here anyway. But I wonder
should
what
we
we
shoot for an activity hour on a Tuesday instead?
You know, that might be good because I know there are some grad student groups that do meet during activity hour.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to 50 hours
Yeah,
for us.
okay.
Yeah, because, like for example, I'm a member of two other organizations that they both have the meeting in that 50 hours because most
Gotcha,
of them
okay.
are undergrads. So,
Yeah.
if we can go for something later than like 11 is
Mhm.
like weird.
Is that
Like 1:30 on Wednesday or something.
Maybe just contact them and find out what works best.
No, I mean,
Later.
okay, I meant for the general meeting and then.
Oh.
But okay, sure, whatever.
The health meeting. Yeah.
I'm here all day, so.
Yeah, I can be here almost all day too, most days. So I'll write to her
Afternoon's definitely better for me.
and see when she can come, and even if it's at a
Yeah.
special time.
Yeah, and see, and we'll just put it out there and make sure. Can we get it put in, I think it's enough of an issue. We should ask Dr. Lewis if we can send it out to every graduate student. I think it's enough of an issue that this is one of the few things that I would say, get her permission to broadcast it to every graduate student at ODU.
And if you need people to attend this, just let me know, I'll bring like 20 people.
Good
So,
action
yeah.
officer.
No, let's, yeah, let's do
Sure.
it, let's do it, because if
Yeah.
what we want, if we want to affect some change, we need everyone on board about it, we need to know we need to develop those talking points, we need to find out what the issues are across the board and really just go for it. I mean, if they're not gonna, we've done as much as we can as far as we found an alternative, but now we have conflicting, we've got that health fee that they require us to pay, whether or not, I mean, some institutions don't have the graduate students, or if you can show that you have healthcare coverage in another venue,
Right.
then they will waive the fee. Some institutions do that.
Yeah.
And you know, otherwise they need to step up the offerings that they have at the health center. And if they're not gonna do that, then we need that, you know, if we have to have a letter coming in and saying, I'm covered, so be it. They make
Or
us
at
do
least-
immunizations.
At least make it only a requirement if they're gonna make it a requirement just to be covered or not covered. And you pick the company for whatever you want to be
Exactly.
covered.
Or give you a list.
It's not,
Yeah,
yeah,
give
or
you a
less of
list.
recommended,
Yeah, like
or
Roger
something.
said.
Or like car insurance, like you have to have, the state requires a minimum amount, but then beyond that minimum, it's up to you whether you want to
Yeah.
add on. I feel like health insurance should be that way. Like, I agree, there's
It
some
is.
things we should be covered for, there should be minimum.
But scuba diving, it is a totally
really
separate thing. It's not covered, I'm not covered under my crazy plan.
Why should you pay for that if you've never had any intention?
And as a scuba diver, you know that if you're gonna scuba dive, there is set aside diver's insurance that you buy.
Yeah,
They tell you
the
that.
funny thing is, actually,
Yeah,
that's one sign
exactly.
the waiver when you go do that. But actually, there is another thing. Even with the regular health insurance that they have in Aetna and all of this, they remove about 60% or something. I had an accident with my leg. I had to undergo a surgery and all of that. But an MRI, for example, costs $800.
Oh.
Remove 60%, it's still a lot of money. I needed echo for my heart, and all this takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really cover anything.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
no.
And I still have to pay.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right.
We need to have the options. We need to have the options.
Right, and I know that in the coming year, or so they have to because of the Obama bill. I think all of those things happened in 2014, but we need to have something now or in the very near future. It's frustrating.
And I'll tell you, industry right now is paying less and less. Vast majority, because my husband's a contractor, and it is phenomenal what we're having to do for, we don't have big things. We don't have any, pre-existing that gets you disqualified. We don't have anything really going on. We are still now paid $950 a month for my husband, my daughter, and I. Because most of the companies with the contractors, they're ceasing. It used to be that they'd cover 2/3 and contractor would pay 1/3. They've flipped it. So now contractors are paying 2/3 and companies are paying 1/3. So it's not, it's everywhere. It's everywhere that it's an issue, but we have to have options. And that's one of the things that at least at the company, we have options of this suite of programs. So for them to say you will get, as an international student, you will get this one company and this one package is completely unreasonable. I'd like to know who they
understand if
pay.
they wanted to make a deal with it, to provide a couple of programs, especially
Tiers.
Yeah, a tier.
Right. Because I have put their Nyla at, which I think is the same company with my husband, and there's tiers. There's like platinum, gold, silver,
Yeah.
and the years that he doesn't get his hours as a longshoreman, we go down a tier.
Mhm.
And that went from, 100, they covered 100% of everything to, I had an MRI and I had to pay the $800 because it
So
went
you
from
know
70 to
what I
30,
mean.
and I was like, whoa, why am I paying anything? Because we didn't realize they just automatically fix your tiers by the level of hours you work. So I know they do have tiers and they do have good policies. So
Exactly.
So why not? Yeah, why not offer that? Yeah.
So, can I bring up another open discussion item?
Yeah.
That may seem really super lame to everyone.
No, bring it up.
Makes me look really nerdy. The library closes at 7 o'clock on Friday nights.
What?
The top part, where researchers need to be, not the commons.
I was told I couldn't use the commons. Everything locks down at 7 o'clock on Friday night, and they don't open again until the next day.
Really?
Because I went to go do work, because I was going to do some SPSS stuff, and the lady informed me that they closed at 7.
Are you sure it's the hours after the semester started? It's not the break hours?
No, it's in the fall.
Because it's
And I thought it would change again, but I asked her, and she said that's just when we do a lot of our work, and we clean and all this other stuff, and
I
she told
don't
me I
care.
had to leave.
It's Friday.
I was like, the library should be open 24 hours. It should never close.
the commons is supposed to be open 24 hours.
That's what I thought.
I was told I had to leave.
Maybe that's a signal to go.
I was on the computer, and she said I had to leave, so I just wanted to see if anyone else had it.
Okay, this is where if we had that graduate area that Dr. Lewis had mentioned, and the provost ever mentioned that?
Yeah,
Sounds good.
they're expanding web center in the coming years. I mean, we might be gone by then, but we did say that.
We hope we're gone by then.
Yeah, we hope we graduate, but
15?
I sent him a message, and the lady said that things might be changing, and I haven't checked this week to see what the hours are for the spring. 7:30. They close at 7:30 on Friday.
Wow.
Personally, I work full time, so Friday night is when I start my work.
Graduates
Right.
don't
You should
take
go out and
off.
have fun on Friday.
Well,
Student
No,
ads.
thank you for coming.
I have SPSS on my.
Oh, I don't like to go to
Very nice to meet you.
I also might need to go make that.
Oh, yeah, I know, I have it.
Presentation.
Yeah.
But you want to go to campus.
I'm just saying, I think it's ridiculous that at a major university that is trying to be,
A research
Yeah.
institute.
I had never, even Mr.
7:30?
Newport, which used to be a Newport college, when I went there,
At least till
they
9.
opened 24 hours.
I don't understand.
Because we had class till 7 on Friday, and I thought, great, after the class on Friday, I can go and I can do all of this work that I need to do, and I'm already on campus, and I can do it, because I have to be on campus to use the
You know
software,
about
the
the,
software.
well, oh, okay. Because there is the virtual computing.
Amos
Yeah.
isn't, yeah,
Amos isn't on.
but it is now, because we only have 30 copies, because it was the first one we were in the class with using
Right,
Amos
right.
which is part of IBM, this stuff. But, yeah, I walked over there and the lady told me I had to leave. I couldn't come in or anything. So I think that's an issue.
That's an issue. That's an issue, definitely,
Only
because
because I work on Friday night.
a lot of grad offices, like ours, doesn't have, we don't have SPSS where we can use it. We have to go to the library.
Right.
Or, I mean,
Yeah.
or the GIS stuff, we can't always.
Right, they have that whole
Yeah.
GIS area, and there was a guy trying to get in with me, and it was at the end of the semester in Gibbon. I should have done my work probably a lot earlier than I did. It was due Monday. But there's not only so many hours of the day, and he was mad.
Yeah. Well, not only that, our thesis and our dissertations don't stop because the semester stops. That's when we actually have chunks of time when we can.
Oh, no, it's
work.
really reduced during breaks. This is during the year. Like, it
Yeah.
goes to 7:30
No,
during.
that's unreasonable.
And then, so you try to come on Saturday and Sunday, and you can't get a machine. Or people stand there and they look at you, and it's just.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating when you see people like just tooling around on Facebook and you're like there to,
You wanna
use
work.
SPSS.